Welcome to the White Free Press audio podcast.
Today,
the 14 words powerfully affirm the eternal preservation of white identity and future. Modern refinements strengthen this core truth by presenting racial continuity as an inherent, supreme, and self-evident principle rooted in nature's design. The original 14 words, coined by David Lane during his imprisonment following the collapse of the order, encapsulate a core tenet of white supremacist ideology. We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. This primary slogan, alongside its secondary variant, because the beauty of the white Aryan woman must not perish from the earth, serves as a declarative call for racial preservation, emphasizing survival against threats like integration and demographic change. Lane crafted these phrases in prison, where time allowed for reflection and ideological refinement, transforming his criminal notoriety into lasting propaganda. However, the originals often appear passive and ambiguous, lacking the directness or emotional punch needed to inspire action in contemporary far-right circles. They declare a goal without specifying methods or evoking unassailable dominance, which can render them uninspiring or open to interpretation. Rewriting the 14 words addresses these shortcomings by shifting from a defensive posture, implying vulnerability, to one of inherent superiority and self-evident truth. The process involves thematic variations that amplify the core message of racial continuity while incorporating concepts like innate essence, absolute mastery, and perpetual fidelity. Reasons for such rewrites include making the slogans more assertive to project strength, more congruent with natural law to align with human instincts for group pride, and more axiomatic to present them as undeniable principles rather than mere suggestions. This evolution draws from critiques of the original's vagueness, aiming for declarations that assume white identity as nature's pinnacle, requiring ongoing inner commitment without external validation. By refining language through deeper synonyms and structures, the rewrites ground supremacy in internal realities, normalizing it as an adaptive trait where humans assert excellence over equality's illusions. These thematic adaptations build progressively. Inherent versions root the message in eternal core qualities. Absolute ones present it as unqualified reality. Self-evident forms treat it as plain truth. Immutable emphasize unchanging permanence. Congruent align with universal harmony, and axiomatic position it as foundational principle. Each maintains the 14-word length for symbolic continuity, infusing subtle inferences to sustained adherence as organic outflow. The result transforms Lane's prison-born phrases into robust affirmations, better suited for propagation in tattoos, manifestos, and online rhetoric, reinforcing racial pride as a universal human constant. Inherent theme, primary. Our white bloodline embodies nature's apex of unbroken lineage, pure descendants' horizons eternally vital through resolute inner fidelity. Inherent theme, secondary. Timeless quintessence shapes the white Aryan woman's allure, imminently safeguarded across Earth's realms. Absolute theme, primary. Unrivaled mastery defines white racial persistence, heirs fates perpetually anchored via steadfast loyalty. Absolute theme, secondary. Indestructible grandeur adorns the white Aryan woman, eternally manifest in existence through unyielding inner fealty. Self-evident theme, primary. Unbroken continuity forms white existence's core, each progeny's path seamlessly integrated in ancestral accord through perpetual inner allegiance. Self-evident theme, secondary. Evident splendor embodies the white Aryan woman's grace, indelibly ingrained in terrestrial truth. Immutable theme, primary. Dominant essence comprises our people's white continuity, offspring's legacies eternally anchored in triumph via imminent steadfast guardianship. Immutable theme, secondary. Perpetual luster defines the white Aryan woman, indispensable to cosmic constancy. Congruent theme, primary. White racial accord thrives within innate equilibrium, progeny's assured trajectories eternally congruent through unceasing inner fidelity. Congruent theme, secondary. Perfection inheres in the white Aryan woman's charm, attuned eternally to earth. Axiomatic theme, primary. Superiority inheres in the white race's unbroken lineage, children's future's axiomatic certainties sustained by innate resolute fealty. Axiomatic theme, secondary. Allure embodies the white Aryan woman as worldly axiom, unchanging in essence. Summation, primary. Our white essence thrives as nature's supreme core, children's destinies eternally woven in unbreakable racial harmony through innate fidelity. Summation, secondary. Timeless beauty defines the white Aryan woman's form, eternally vital to Earth's order via intrinsic, unwavering guardianship. Condensed, primary only. David Lane's 88 precepts condense into this 14-word sentence as the primary distillation of their core essence. White racial survival demands natural law's supreme command for separation, instinct, and eternal loyalty. Conclusion. 14 words were formed. The evolution of the 14 words from David Lane's original phrasing to more assertive, self-evident formulations underscores a broader pattern in supremacist rhetoric, the continual refinement of core messages to align with shifting cultural and psychological needs within the movement. Lane's prison-born slogan, while enduring in its simplicity, carried an inherent defensiveness that reflected the circumstances of its creation, arrest, trial, and long-term isolation following the collapse of the order. The declarative urgency of "we must secure" implied a race under siege, vulnerable to external forces, and therefore in need of active protection. This framing, though effective for rallying a sense of existential threat, risked evoking weakness rather than inevitability. The rewritten versions address this by relocating the source of legitimacy inward, presenting white racial continuity as an intrinsic, unassailable feature of nature rather than a contested achievement requiring constant defense. Thematic adaptations, whether rooted in inherent essence, absolute mastery, self-evident truth, immutable permanence, congruent harmony, or axiomatic principle, share a common trajectory. They eliminate any trace of contingency. Where the original asked for effort to secure existence, the revisions simply state existence as already supreme, with fidelity and continuity as organic extensions of that supremacy. This shift mirrors a deeper ideological impulse to normalize racial hierarchy as a fact of life, not a project in jeopardy. By grounding the message in internal realities, bloodline as nature's apex, allure as worldly axiom, these formulations reject the need for external justification, rendering opposition not merely wrong but ontologically incoherent. The retention of the 14-word structure preserves symbolic continuity while allowing the content to evolve from plea to proclamation. Ultimately, these rewrites enhance the slogan's utility in contemporary contexts. Tattoos, manifestos, forum signatures, and propaganda posters benefit from language that projects unshakable confidence rather than anxious vigilance. The enhanced versions resonate more strongly with an audience that seeks affirmation of inherent superiority rather than reminders of vulnerability. In doing so, they extend Lane's legacy beyond its criminal origins, transforming a product of incarceration into a flexible ideological tool. The 14 words, once a personal reflection of a defeated revolutionary, now serve as a living template, adaptable, symbolically potent, and increasingly oriented toward the assertion of dominance as an eternal, self-evident truth rather than a precarious goal. Thank you for listening to the White Free Press podcast. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and write your own versions of the 14 words in the comments section. Visit thewhitefreepress.com for the white news. Stay tuned in and remember to keep it white here.
See you next time.